Hello and thank you for joining me. I'm Heather Forgan of stampwithnellie.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in the UK, and back in December 2017 I made this box for a Christmas present that was an unusual shape, difficult to wrap, and I thought it was easier to make a box. So as you can see next to that little Yankee candle there, it's a huge box, and I was asked recently if I had a tutorial for it, and I didn't, which is really strange. I didn't even have measurements or anything on that blog post. So I've set about working out what I might have done 4 years ago, more than 4 years ago. So I've got a sheet of 12 by 12 card, which is the biggest card that we sell in Stampin' Up, so I'm guessing I must have used that. And I've got 3 sheets of designer series paper from the In Colours pack. This is Starry Sky. I will need 2.5, I think, for that. So as I say, I've worked out what I think I did, and I'm winging it now. So we will just see how this all goes together. I've worked out what I'm doing to make the box, and I've kind of got an idea about decorating it, but that's not really the important part for the lady that asked about the tutorial. So my 12 by 12 card, I need to score that, and there are some strange measurements in here, so I will apologise for that in advance, and that's why I'm using my trimmer to do the scoring rather than my simply scored board. So I've lined that up at 2 7/8, so that's just 2 little lines before the 3-inch mark. Okay, so 2 7/8, then 5 3/4, and then 8 5/8, and then 11 1/2. Okay, so we're done with scoring on side 1 for now. And then I want to turn that around and then do another one at 2 7/8. Okay, and that will be the base of the box, so it's the same as the width of each panel. And then I want to score that at 9 inches. And again, my final one is 11 1/2. So that will give us our bit at the top of the milk carton style of box. And this is where the measurements get even worse. So I need to put a little line in the middle of that panel there, which is 4 5/16. Yeah. So I've got 4, and I'm just going to do 1 2 3 4 5 of those little lines, and I'm only scoring that from that top score line there, so it's only a 1/2 inch that I'm scoring there. Okay, and that will help make the we need to put in some diagonal score lines, but that will help the top of the box fold in. And my other partial score line is 8 5/8. So go back to 8, this is much better. No, that can't be right, Heather, because nope. Let me work that out then. I think it might actually be 10 1/8, but I'm going to do that. If you're crafting along, if I've got that wrong, I will try and put in a little subtitle so that you don't get it wrong as well. Okay. Let's just go with it for now. Let's see, I can work it out. If it doesn't give us a nice neat fit at the top, I can work it out properly and let you know. But let's just crack on for now. So just reinforcing all of those score lines on here. Just folding them over, make sure that it's straight and then give it a good press. Now this one here needs to fold back the way, okay, and that will give us our milk carton shape at the top there. A little bit of cutting, not much, but I'm going to use my big scissors because they're big panels. So cutting along those score lines, to that first horizontal score line, so, and take a little chop out of there. So I've just got that, the score line was here, let's focus, so I've just taken an extra little bit off there, and I'm just going to take a little bit off that corner there as well. Okay, so not as far down as the score line, just a little bit there. Okay, let's put in those extra score lines that we talked about and faffed about with and haven't done yet. So from the bottom of that score line just down to the intersection there, and same on the other side. Okay, so you've got a V shape there, and doing the same on here. And the one that I hope I've got right, like that. Okay, so you've got plain panel, a scored, plain, scored. The two scoreds will be your side panels. So I like to take a little chop off the base on the side panels as well, just so you get a neater fold at the bottom. That is definitely not essential, because if you've got a little overlap, once you've made the base of your box, you can chop it off then, and that might be easier for you. Okay, so just a little slither of those so we reduce some of the bulk. Now I need to cut some designer series paper, so I'm going to leave it at the 6 inches, and I am going to cut that at 2 3/4. 2 3/4 again. Tiny scrap left over. Do the same on the next piece. 2 3/4. 2 3/4. Okay. Now the next bit. Oh, come on. Pick that up, Heather. Again, 2 3/4. But this time we don't need the full 6 inches, because it's only going to go on that panel there. Okay, so we've got 4 that are 6 inches. So I want this to be 2 3/8. 2 3/8. 2 3/8. So that's just below a 2 1/2. Let's just double check that that fits in. Oh, very neat. Do you know what? I'm going to take a slither off that. So let's do it at 2 1/4 instead. You can always trim a bit off, can't you? Can't add it on. Yeah, that's going to give us a bit more space to play with. Right, let's just put them on. So my reasoning for making the box that I hadn't properly blogged or done a tutorial for or anything really, was because the present that I was giving at Christmas was just a bit of an awkward shape, and it's actually easier for me to build a box to fit something than to wrap it. I do like wrapping gifts, as I like giving gifts, but if they're an awkward shape it gets frustrating because they're often not neat enough for me. I'm a bit OCD with that. So yeah, I'd much rather make a pretty box and then just pop the stuff in and gift it. So I've got a couple of things that I think will fit in this. Just going by measurements. So I can't wait to find out if it does actually fit in or not. If not, I'll be scrabbling around the house looking for something else to show you that as an example of what could fit in. Okay, so we're ready to assemble the box. Putting glue right the way down this 1/2 inch panel here. Fold that over. And give that a little rub. Turn it the other way. Give that a good rub down as well. Okay, so we have that little 1/2 inch strip at the back there. So I'm going to add some glue to the side panel. Then the other side panel, doesn't matter which order you do them in. Then the one that's at the back, fold forward. Okay. And then make sure you've got a good amount of glue on this one to complete your box base. Nice and neat, isn't it? Now normally I would put my bone folder in. Oh, you can just do it. Anything you've got that's long enough. Yeah, just to press that down. Right, okay, moment of truth. Dun dun dun. That's not quite. Actually, yeah, let's go with those because that's neat enough for for me on the top there. So we'll stick with the original. And that works really nicely. So those score lines just help it go. You don't need to burnish those. They will just help that to fold in like so. Okay, so now, moment of truth number 2. Do these two fit in? 1, 2. Yes, doesn't slide about too much. Excellent. So that's an idea. I would certainly much rather make this box than wrap these two things. So yeah, they fit in. Fabulous. Let's just pop them in then. Now, in my original, I used a little clip and I had 2 little bows at the side. I'm not doing that. Bringing in my crocodile, I am going to use the larger of the 2 punches. Okay, let's check where we've got with that. However, I will use a little clip just to hold that in place whilst I pop that and turn it around. Make sure I've got that lined up again. Like that. Okay. And I want to use some of this ribbon. So I love it, and I haven't used it for ages, and it does the most spectacular bows. Even if you're rubbish at tying bows, this ribbon makes them look great, I think. If I can get it to go through the hole, just get a little bit and then grab it. There we go. Give myself plenty to play with. Tidy up some of this mess. Where'd I put that little clip? It's like having a third hand. Hold that in place while you do something else. Those that way so that my tails go down. See, isn't that a gorgeous bow? Isn't that just a stunning ribbon? With that, make sure I'll go in the middle, and then I can chop my tails a little bit. Spectacular. Now, we really are in uncharted waters. Truly make it. And I've put the bow at the back. Oh, really? What are you like, Heather? So I've got this nice round edge, and the seam is at the back. So let's just do that again. Once more. I'd have checked that before I'd actually decorated the back. And that's another good thing about this ribbon. You're not going to get it all creased by untying it and retying it. Okay, back to where we were a moment ago. So there's no white in any of that, so I'm actually going to use some very vanilla for my decoration, and I've decided I'm using this Flowers of Friendship and Life is Better with Friends Like You, because I kind of feel it needs to be something decent sized there. So I'm going again with Starry Sky. And we'll just pop that on there. I've got a little blob there. Do I like that? Let me clean my stamp. What have I done with my scrubby? Yes. Just beside it. Just do it beside it. That's better. I like that more. It's just that little bit there. Wasn't crisp enough. Going to the bother of making a big box, you might as well get it right. So I'm using a die from All That, which is a masculine set really. But it's a nice fit for that, isn't it? So I will simply die cut that and be back with you in just a moment. Okay, so we've got that. That is going to sit on there. And I'm going to use the little flowers from the same stamp set, Flowers of Friendship, along with these. And I think I'm just going to use the little ones actually. Might do one big one and two littles. Honestly, chop and change my mind all the time. So I need that to go that way. Oops. And that way. So I've got the polished pink and Orchid Oasis. Do the big one. Polished pink. Look at that. Just lining that up. That can go on there. Do a couple of Orchid Oasis. Actually, I'll just do them one at a time. So we can see what else pops out at the same time. And up there. And I'll do another one of those. Like that. Now if I was doing this properly and I wanted to use all of the stamps and all of the punch bits at the same time, I would punch a bit out, punch out the whole thing, and then place my stamps where they were needed, and then I could stamp them all at the same time. But hey, I'm cool with what I've got. So yeah, I think I'm going to keep it that simple. The box has a wow factor on its own, so I don't want to add too much to it. I might add a little bit of bling in the centre of the flowers. Let's just add that. I'm going to pop it up on dimensionals. Why not? I've only got mini dimensionals in my little drawer at the moment. sort that before I do my next video. Oops, two stuck together. Oh, sticking to me. Go in there. Right way up. Life is better with friends like you. There we go. That one there. Just a little in the middle. And one more. Alright, let's look at the Look It Bling. Finish it off. About I only have a few of these elegant faceted gems, so let's use them up. And then I can open another pack. So we've got big one in there and a couple of little ones on there, like that. There we go. Very different from my one in 2017. Have I got a little candle? When I take my photographs, I will try and find a little candle to put it beside to make sure that I have kind of captured the essence of the size, but I think I possibly have. It does feel huge. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have, then please do give me a thumbs up, and if you can leave me a comment, that would be even better. And if you're new to my YouTube channel, please do click on that subscribe button, and if you click on the bell too, then you'll get notifications of my next video. Until then, do take care. Bye.